everybody, it's Glenda again. Tonight I'm going to do something completely out of character. Well, maybe not so much. I'm going to make a little ugly jug. And I think it's going to be fun, because I'm really going to try to make this thing an ugly jug. Now, ugly jugs are a real thing. I suppose I'd heard about them before, but I don't know. But I guess I really learned something about them from Bone Daddy too, because they collect a lot of those kinds of things, and ugly jugs is one of the things they collect. I started with this. I just want to add on to it some, flat enough. I mean, they're not made to be proportional. They're not made to be pretty at all. The whole idea is they're supposed to be ugly. Now, this is something I learned. I did some research on it, so Buster can't, or Rosie can't accuse me of not doing my research this time. But I can joke about me. I'm not going to joke about the fact that, you know, these had a slave origin. But yeah, supposedly they were made, or at least that's one theory, they were made to ward off evil, and also a lot of them have been found in where slaves are buried, like slave graveyards and stuff. And I guess they were not allowed to have headstones and stuff to mark them, so they would use these jugs, these little ugly jugs, and a lot of it, probably some of the tradition, or the tradition behind the type of jug they were, or stuff. This probably came over with them as a part of their culture, having probably made things like it over in Africa or wherever they came from. Another theory is that they came up from slaves that were captured in the Caribbean and brought to the United States, and that they were a part of their particular art. They were part of, thought to be some kind of a voodoo type deal. I'm going to go ahead and bake this, and I'll be back and we'll talk more about how the theory behind ugly jugs. Alright, I've rolled these out. I just got this out of the oven. It's still just a tiny bit warm, but not bad. I rolled these out on a fairly thick setting, except for this little tiny segment here before I switched it, because I want to be able to make all the ugly stuff to go on it. So, or, be able to dig into it a little bit to make all the ugly stuff. Okay, that's okay. And then evidently back during the Prohibition era, bootleggers, moonshiners, whatever, would make ugly jugs or use ugly face jugs in order to scare children so that they wouldn't try to drink what was inside the jug. Which, I wouldn't want kids drinking whatever that was in there. Okay, that, I don't really want to mess too much with the... I like the shape of, actually, I know, but remember, it's an ugly jug. So, what I want to do is, I'm going to use this little bit here, and I'm going to give it some odd, droopy, out-of-shape eyes. Or misshapen. I'm even going to leave this extra tail here Well, I'll blend it in, but not completely. Alrighty. Okay, the camera did go dead. I'm not exactly sure when. Battery died, but this is where I'm at so far. This is an ugly eye, if you can see it. He's got kind of just a weird eyebrow there, but I put him a big old wrinkle down under his eye there, and I gave him more of a cat's eye thing. Now the other eye, I don't have to make it like that. I can make it completely different, but I will probably make it pretty much the same. But it's going to be lower. I'm going to have it down here, a little lower. Because things aren't really always so evenly spaced on these. They're not even always the same size. They just are. They're just there. This eye's pretty well misshapen, which is fine. It's an ugly. It's a miniature ugly jug. I can make it ugly if I want to. So, I don't know when the battery went dead, but that's just fine. Because I was trying to figure some stuff out anyway. And there's not much of anything I can do about it now. So. Painting is going to be a big part of this project. It's going to be, you know, choosing the right colors and stuff is going to be a big part of it, because I'm thinking what I want to do is I want to give it kind of a bronzed look, and I think maybe what I'll do to get that is mix some metallic gold with, I don't know, I'm going to have to experiment with some stuff, but I might try mixing some metallic gold with some come on, droop down there. Switch that a little bit. But I want to maybe mix some metallic gold with some light brown or something. I don't know. I'll have to look up on how to possibly do that. Sometimes, sometimes those mixtures are something that'll totally surprise you. At least they do me. It just destroyed right in front of my fingers. It looks pretty much like nothing right now, except a big glob, but just think of Monsters Incorporated. Let's put some kind of ugly nostrils on there for a nose. Some big old nostrils there. This is not something I would enter into an art contest at all. Oh boy. Is that looking like an ugly jug? Maybe I'll get a critique from the expert. All he has to say is close enough and I'll be happy. Close enough. I keep putting these little holes in for air to escape. Okay. Put some kind of an ugly mouth on him, an ugly mug. I think I'll just put some kind of an O mouth. Oversized is not bothering me as long as I got room for it. Well, everybody, that's going to be it for tonight. There's plenty more to be done with this. A little bit more on the construction, which I'll show you tomorrow night, and then we'll get into painting on the next one. So we're going to make this ugly jug. I love you all. Good night. See you tomorrow.